Okay, well, this is a typical morning breakfast routine that I have. And this is a lot of root vegetables and things that I grew in my garden, happily. Still got a bunch of stuff around. And I credit this diet with the remarkable amount of energy that I have, because what I do is I don't eat anything right away in the morning, and I wait till about 10 or 11 a.m. and I cook this stuff and I eat it, and then I don't really eat anything until about maybe 7 p.m. I just don't need it because this stuff fuels me up. It doesn't weigh me down, it doesn't give me glycemic spikes or anything like that, and it's just really, really good in my belly. So I'm going to show you how I make it and hopefully entertain you at the same time. Get the camera set up, and I hope this is going to work. All right. Requires a pan. And I like to use coconut oil. And this is just a quick way to get coconut oil in here. Heat up the spoon, and I buy it in bulk like this. And if I heat up the spoon, it lets me get a good amount in there real quick. And that's about as much as I use right there. Get that going. I'm going to put a variety of things in there. I'm going to put them in the order that, things that cook slowly, got to start them first. So this is a turnip, and obviously I didn't even clean it, but oh well. This is actually a giant turnip that grew in my garden, and I love it. And has some little defects in it, but I don't care. I just cut them off. Turnips tend to take kind of one of the longer cooking things of the things that I'm going to cook here, and so I'm going to get that going. I'm not too careful about my slicing and dicing because it's all going in the same place. So got that going. There's some white stuff. I like to kind of vary the color of stuff. This is a carrot that I grew. It's white carrot. Cool, huh? I'm going to make these a little bit smaller. So, carrots. This is actually a giant beet root, and I've already eaten a bunch of it, and so this is what I've still got left. It's called a Mangelwurzel root, beet, and they're sweet and they're crunchy, but you can cook it, and they saute very nicely. They're a little bit juicy, but not red, and they don't bleed red like the regular beets. I grew some of those too, but I don't have any on hand. I'm just throwing in here what I've got right now. Sorry for the jerky camera. Seems like a lot of veggies, huh? But I don't know, that's my secret. It keeps me going. Alright, I got beets and carrots. Looks like a lot of white colored stuff, which is sort of unusual. Usually I have a bigger variety in there, and get a little bit of variety in there pretty soon. I cook everything on high because that's just the way it works here. And I cook everything on high because life is too short, and I get away with it. Okay, look at this. We got some potatoes here, and look at those funky potatoes. These are actually two different kinds. They look purple on the outside, and one of them is purple on the inside too. Look at that. Fancy, fancy. And dice that up. That'll add some color. And then I've got another one that looks purple on the outside. At least it's marbled that way and colored. But on the inside, it's white. So it's a little different kind and a little different flavor. These the ones that are purple inside, they cook a little bit faster. Sometimes we have to separate them from other potatoes and other things because they just cook fast. In this case, I'm going to, I'm not going to pay as much attention to that. I'm just going to throw them all together because I'm in a real hurry. And it just doesn't matter. So, got this stuff going. Starting to get a little cooked. Keep turning it. And throw my taters in there. I try to just clean up as I go because I like to do everything fast. There's something I can put in there. Compost everything. Got a compost bucket out here. Look at that. Elephant garlic. Grew that in our garden too. Awesome. Usually they're pretty easy to peel, but this one's kind of being a little bit of a pill. I guess you can see I like garlic. And there's some onion, another root vegetable. I'm not getting much color in there today. Seems like a lot of times it's tutti frutti colors and a lot of white today, I guess. Just that's the way it works. I just throw in there kind of what's around. Sometimes I'm guided by my body to put certain things in. So I'm going to work on this stuff just a little bit based on what I know about the time it takes things to cook. Base chakra food. I think almost all those, all these are root vegetables, and they give you a certain sustaining drive and energy, boosts your immune system. I don't know, it just supercharges me. I can work like crazy all day and not feel any letdown or anything when I eat this kind of stuff. So I'm going to throw my garlic and onions on now. Looks like I'm cooking for a family, but this is actually my breakfast. got some kale I pulled out of the garden, and I'm gonna sort of cut that up a little bit. So, and also got some beet leaves too. I love greens in my stuff. So prep some beet greens. This stuff cooks down to pretty small size, so you can throw a lot in, and it's not going to be like a large volume. You can tell I'm not that concerned about volume anyway. Great. That's a fair good amount right there. Gonna need that in a little bit. I'm gonna add some tomatoes later too. These are little tomatoes from our garden, golden, juicy, delicious. Have those ready to go. More compost. Hey, Aaron. Good morning.
Morning.
I'm filming my my breakfast creation.
Oh,
Here's
am I
our-
included in it?
Now you are. There's our pup. This is Violet. She's about 10 or 11 weeks old now, Nance? 3 months. Still pretty small.
Yeah, Ashley came to see me earlier, but she just wanted to bite me, so I just had to leave you alone.
I think I'm going to turn the heat down a little bit. Mrs. Dash, just some herbs. Also gonna put some coriander because I like this stuff. A very careful amount, you can see, har. And cumin. Also, thinking I'm going to put something hot in here today. This is cayenne pepper, grew in my garden too. So I'm actually kind of sort of making it's almost like a curry, I guess. And it's going to be hot and spicy. I don't happen to have any curry powder, so to speak, so I'm just adding some of the things that are in it today. It's getting there. That's got a little ways to go still. Get my plate ready. Crank the heat up just a little bit more. Hope I'm not making you dizzy with moving around so much. Some of the folks we work with, you know, Jeanette and Joyce and Lisa Meakin and Tucker, Alice Tucker, you know, and I just send it to a bunch of those folks we work with, you know.
Okay.
David Kyle.
Yeah.
Yep. I hope the angle's good here, that they can see what we're doing here. Root vegetable delight. Actually, I don't know what I'd call this. It's really curry vegetables, but I specialize in a lot of root vegetables for the sake of what they do for sustained energy throughout the day. And I feel that all that oil that I put in there, it helps make it so that it's not a big blast of starch in my system. It actually takes a fair amount of time to digest, so that this is kind of just a really wonderful sustained release of energy all day. And I feel that I get a large amount of minerals. And my nervous system and body really asks me a lot for a lot of minerals these days. And you know, you can eat pills, but I don't know. I think this is how God really intended it to be. So that's how I do it. So I'm going to take these things, all these greens, put them on the top, and put the tomatoes around the outside, around this. And I don't want to cook the tomatoes too much, but they're kind of good when they get cooked a little bit. And just throw some soy sauce on there, and it does a couple things. I like the salty taste, but it actually adds liquid, and now that's going to steam in there, and it's going to steam those leaves, those greens, and cook them really fast. I canned cucumber dill pickles this summer. Aaron and I did. We cooked, man, we did like, between cucumbers and beans, we probably did over 50 jars, didn't we? Yeah. Since then, we've done a bunch of pickled beets too. And I love those. Pickled beets. Both. This is a combination of the regular red beets and the white ones, and they get red, of course, from the from the red ones. And we put some onion spears in there too, but they're really good. They're not dill based; they're more sweet stuff. See how this stuff's doing. Okay, the leaves are starting to cook, but at this point, I kind of push the greens down so they'll get close to the burner and cook a little faster, and we're really close to done here. Give it a little tiny bit more burner. And turn the burner off and let it just simmer a little bit. Here's a bunch of those purple potatoes. We just keep a bunch right out here ready to use all the time. Really like them. In fact, in general, when we're growing a lot of produce, we usually keep a lot right out here and just use it, and it's just ready to go. This is actually pretty clean right now. There's a little zucchini left over. What?
Where did it all go?
Mom cleaned up the other day because we had visitors, and she didn't want so much stuff. We wanted space on here, so. But a lot of times we cook, or we keep squash out and all kinds of stuff. Tomatoes. We had a lot of tomatoes this year. Happily. There's a squash over there on the table. We're getting ready to do something with that. That's not even a big one. While the breakfast is just doing the last simmer cycle, here's some of our squash that we still have around. Here's a nice big one. Probably about 25 pounds. There's a big one. There's a bunch of smaller ones in here. And we've given away or eaten, that's getting to be probably close to half of it. So we had a lot more than this. Really like these this year. These are kind of a hybrid that kind of accidentally grew. That one is too. But these are ordinary kabocha ones. The green ones and the orange ones, they're really good. And there's some buttercups back there. This is a buttercup, it's called. They're really good. Anyway, I've given away or used most of the really big squash. We gave away a big one that was like that one over there, but it was 35 pounds. We gave it to the Loaves and Fishes so they can make squash soup for people. And there's our little cat. The cat and the dog somewhat get along. Time for my breakfast. There it is, folks. It's kind of extra big today. Hello. Yeah, I think so. Nancy. Sorry about that. A variation on this is sometimes I make the veggies and then I put them in miso soup, and that's really good too. But today I just made vegetables, and there it is. And trust me, it's really good. So that's breakfast, and it'll keep me, that's like half my calorie intake probably for the day. And my body is extraordinarily happy and healthy from this. So, and except for the pan, the kitchen's all cleaned up already. So, hope you enjoyed it. Bye-bye.